It does automatically.
Yeah, I don't want it to. You're good.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Augusta Township Council Agenda, regular meeting, April 28th, 2025 at 6 p.m. I call the meeting to order. And the first thing we'll have is our land acknowledgement statement by Councillor Bowman, please.
Augusta Township acknowledges that we live and work on ancestral territories of Indigenous people. The township recognizes all Indigenous people and honors their past, present, and future. The township values and respects their culture, heritage, and relationship to the land.
Thank you. Okay, mayor's remarks. First of all, thank you very much, everybody involved in pitching. So like I said, I think there was over 100 people involved in it, you know, you signed up and did. But, you've seen people picking up, you know, in the ditches and that, as I drove through, I drove once through the township, so anyway. So thank you very much for that. Also, the Leo Boyman Showcase. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday, I think they could do it like Friday, Saturday, but anyway, it was all good. So, again, thank you everybody who, manned the booth. And, again, it was nice talking to some of the residents and, people outside our township too. So thank you again for that. I also have, a draw we have to do, seeing we, had a little. Guess we had the tickets on our desk there for our residents or anybody to kind of fill out for a draw for the 3 gift certificates. And we'll pull 3 names. So. First one was, Charles Madden. And second was Gene French. Give them the clerk. And lastly, Les Randall. So it's quite a few in there, actually. So a lot of people took interest in it. If you have any comments or things that can improve the showcase possibly for next year, pass them on to the CAO or the clerk, and they'll make note of it. And I know one of the things we looked at was possibly a tent, you know, so damn it. Next, we're approached for a relay for life at the show. No, at the handshakes, pancakes for handshakes, Steve Clark's at the high school. That's where they approached us. Anyway, then they followed up with an email. And we just put this out today, Augusta Township Relay for Life team. So I don't know if has anybody seen it?
No, so we'll send this out to staff and council tomorrow. So anybody that's interested in it, we'll try and put the team together. And if we get more than the 10, that's great. What we can do is set up a schedule where, you know, we can have maybe group A in them for the first 6 or 7 hours and then group B for the rest of it or something like that. So
they challenged the 3 townships again. So they're like, we know that you guys are good at raising food. Now let's see how good you are at raising money. So
yeah.
Yeah, and last year I think they got over 60,000, you know?
that's their target this year. I know.
Yeah, the target this year too.
Yeah.
So,
So we'll send it out and certainly if you can make it or even show up for an hour or so, and then that's good. Yeah.
what's that? Sorry.
So normally they do like themes for teams, right? Like get shirts. I don't know, I guess we could wear our Augusta shirts,
No,
but
that was our plan, is that we chatted this morning about getting, whatever team we have is getting some t-shirts made up, come up with a design and have Team Augusta and stuff on it. And the hope would be is that we have a tent in place by that time as well too, that we can give it a try as well too.
One thing on that is I know, because I was there, I believe it was Prescott asked if they would come and do a delegation. Do we want them to come and do a delegation here?
Well, I think it's understandable when, I mean, I don't really need to have.
I think timing might be difficult, right? But
Yeah, they're not asking for money.
No, exactly,
because we're not paying anything.
right.
You know, all the, putting the team together is on private individuals, so. You go out and ask for donations.
Yeah.
Or it'd be like me, just write the check.
Yeah, I think what they're looking for is $1,000 per team, so that's $100 per person,
Yeah.
right? So, and if we get more than that, then it's, it's a bonus for the group, so.
Yeah,
I think if we're gonna support it, but we're not. All right, next is WIMIS. I just handed the clerk my WIMIS certificate. So please keep on that. It takes very little time to do it. So just do it, get it over with, Next is the quarterly, came out. Now I know Willow sent out a kind of a email last week, but again, everybody knows the quarterly is coming. I get a little perturbed, and this is my own pet peeve, because I used to look after 2 newspapers, and I don't know, so for staff and counselors, start making a note to one side. If you want something, send it to Willow, put it in. Because the next one we start in June. It's gotta go up in June, so that's not far, yeah.
So one thing we'll look at doing next time is if we're looking at getting, the quarterly out, say the end of June or beginning of July. In early June, late May, we'll get an email out to staff and council saying we're putting this together. If there's things that you know of, or that are upcoming, give us a list and then we'll make sure we can get enough room on the quarterly.
Because, we kind of had to pull teeth on this one. And I don't like that, or else I'll just sit and write the whole thing myself, the CAO. But I don't want to do that either, so, anyway, we're giving everybody the opportunity, so don't wait till the last minute. And make Will's job a little bit more easier. Just throw it to her anytime during the month, she'll peg it, and when she needs it, she'll draw it back.
Yes. And I think even too with some of the boards too, if there is upcoming events, just have your chair or somebody reach out to Willow too, and it saves you guys having to relay the message as well too, so.
Okay, this is volunteer week, so thank you to all our volunteers. And again, it's kind of nice devoting 1 week a year to all the volunteers in every organization. But yeah, the social media, it's there. So these days, every organization counts on volunteers. So thank you very much to all our volunteers. Okay, I think that's it for me. And we'll move on to approval of the agenda. Moved by Councillor Bowman, second by Councillor Henry, be resolved the council agenda for April 28, 2025 be adopted. Does any member have anything to add? Okay, see nothing or call the question, all in favor? Okay, yeah. Okay, next is approve the minutes, the April 14, 2025 council meeting is distributed to all members. Moved by Councillor Henry, second by Councillor Bowman. Does anybody have any changes from minutes? If not, I call question, all in favor? Carried. That's one question I had. Do I have to say be it resolved that? Yeah, but no, when I'm reading. Next, disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. Anybody have anything to declare? Nothing, and no delegations and presentations tonight. Any correspondence, petitions? Clerk, no. Boards, committees, okay, counties. Counties Council. We had a delegation in from Sherwood Manor, who gave an update on their new rooms going up, the new building going up. They're on budget and they're on the timetable, so it's looking good. So anyway, it always said they had a small delay in windows, but it's come through now. So anyway, I drive by a lot and I see it going up, so that's good. Also, we had a session after county's council, committee hall reference, Maple View Landing and repurposing. Basically, kind of the first phase, looking at, what do we do with the building? And of course, as you can imagine, there's a cost to everything too, so with renovations and everything else, so. They were looking at dormitories there for some of the staff. They were looking for, to make rooms, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom rooms for, like assisted living for seniors. Anyway, a childcare and possibly a clinic, a pharmacy was kind of talked about, but I think they're gonna look into that too. So anyway, just the initial stages of looking at it. But the warden's dinner is this weekend, May 3rd. I won't be attending. I'm taking my wife out. It's her birthday, so that's my priority. So anyway, that's in Kemple. Next is the new CAO is at his desk, although he hasn't got all the IT. He's got his email and his cell phone number, but they're trying to hook him up to everything else he needs. So his name's Al Horseman, and so he's in the seat, is what I'm saying, at county's council. And he will be coming around to all the townships, especially to meet the CAOs and mayors, et cetera, okay? So just to let you know. And that's all I had for counties, unless you had one meeting too, didn't you?
That was before, I already did.
Before? Okay, sorry, yeah.
That's the one I volunteered you.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, conservation authorities?
Yeah, at our, Rideau Valley Conservation Authority, they, passed their, auditor's report. And, a real good report from the auditors, and their surplus was just over $1 million this year. And they're sitting on a year-over-year surplus of 18 million. So Conservation Authority is in very good shape. I haven't had a meeting at South Nation that's coming up.
Any questions, Deputy Mayor? No? Hey, recreation counselors. Anybody? Counselor Bowman?
So we had a meeting last week with Merck, not a lot. They've got a new cash register. And they're just promoting their barbecue, which is May 24th, $25 for half a chicken, a baked potato, coleslaw, dessert. They're having vendors, live band. And the butterfly lady is gonna be there as well. Heidi.
Okay, anybody else?
Yeah. Just, from North Augusta, Kathleen, any update on, when the light pole is gonna be in?
So that is an issue at the moment because it's supply and demand. Rideau St. Lawrence could not guarantee us even a pole. So I've gone to another supplier. I should have something midweek. I am aware that baseball starts shortly, but if we don't have it in, we will not have it in. It's a supply and demand issue.
One on my road in the ditch.
I know, I can get you a pole. Yeah.
Not that tall,
Hey?
not that tall. It's 53 feet.
Oh, yeah, no, these are on, County Road 15.
Oh,
They're that tall.
well, if I can't, I'll call you.
You see, you're dragging the pole down the
Yeah,
street.
yeah.
Okay, any other recreation?
53 more volunteers.
Sorry.
Okay, we have a recommendation here that moved by Councillor Bowman, second by Councillor Henry, be resolved that council approve the request from the Mainland Education Recreation Committee to allow for the Merck Community Barbecue to be held on municipal property on May 24th, 2025, and the council declare the event as one of municipal significance in the township of Augusta. Any comments on that? Yes.
So basically what they want to do is they want to have, an outside, bar. So out the back of the hall, They want to have it open because they're having a live band. So they're having a live band, they're having the barbecue and they're having vendors. So they want to make it an outdoor, well, weather permitting, right? An outdoor community event where everybody can come, they can eat, they can have a drink, they can listen to music. It's kind of the same thing that we did for North Augusta when they used to have their outside bar when they did Labor Day. So yeah.
I like block party, right?
Yeah.
Just so council, we did ask them for a diagram of the specific location that they're looking at, and there is a letter that we're just waiting on. That basically indicates that they will take care of all of the permitting that's required. They already have their liquor license, so they need the approval from the township in order to get the special events permit to allow for alcohol outside. So they'd be on the hook for everything, but they just need our blessing for it, so.
Yeah, as long as they have the follow the rules and the liquor control board, yeah, or whatever.
It'll be their license on the line if they
Yeah.
choose not to, right? So it's important for them, so.
Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? Carried. Next, we have library board, Councilor Bowman.
To start off, I have a letter or a thank you card here from Angie for the gift that we gave her. Dear members of council, thank you for a very generous retirement gift. I'm looking forward to using soon and frequently. It was great to see Adrian, Michelle, Hendrik, and Shannon at the retirement party. I would also like to thank council and CIO Shannon Garrity for your support during my time. We have been made to feel that the library plays a vital role in serving the residents of the Augusta Township. Best wishes and many thanks, Angie Knight. And for the people that don't know, we got her a nice set of luggage because she plans on traveling. She's going to Italy in June.
Yeah.
So that's to start. So the meeting that we had last week, Corwin is now the head librarian. And he started as of April 1st. So in March, they had 13 new members. They're having a book and plant sale May 31st from 9 to 1. They're doing a Mother's Day paint party May 4th from 1 to 4. The sign up was to be the 27th, but I'm sure if you go on and see the poster, it gives you all the info. If you look at that, and you really still want to join, just get a hold of them and I'm sure they'll allow, because I think at the meeting, they still hadn't had half of the people signed up for it. It's $65 a person, $10 per child. Also, there's pins and needles every Monday at the library, the Lego Club and story time on Wednesdays, homeschooling and crafts on Tuesday. And they've asked, we're gonna go to grant match for them to look for a grant so that they can do some work in the old schoolhouse and in the bathrooms.
Okay, any comments, questions? Yeah, call question? I'm sorry. Thank you. Moved by Councillor Henry, seconded by Councillor Bowman, be resolved the council appoint the following members to the Augusta Township Public Library Board for the remainder of the term of council. Laura Demling and Amanda Cavanaugh. Anybody have any comments? Yeah.
So these two ladies, Amanda used to work at the library. And with these two ladies on board, this takes us up to 8 members. So right at this point right now, the board's healthy, and we're good for numbers right now.
Okay. Yes. Anything else? I'll call the question, all in favor? Carried. Okay, Economic Development and Tourism Committee.
Your worship, we don't have a meeting till this coming Monday, but I did get the opportunity to spend some time at the trade show on the weekend to meet with some of the makers that were there and hand out the little business cards that we had done up. And the response was actually really good. I was only to get one person to engage with, and it happened to be Dave Annabelle, who is also the organizer of the event, but he did it right on the spot with his, one of his other projects, the barbecue sauce and seasoning for a smoker. But, you know, there was many others that took the card and were really intrigued in it. Now it's just a matter of, you know, continuing the push to get people to actually engage, but also get people to follow the Augusta Makers Map Instagram account so that we have an audience for those makers. I think it'll come. Like I said, the response was very good. It's just a matter of now, you know, continuing to spread the word and then getting the makers to engage with the account when they're posting to Instagram.
Okay, any comments? Okay, good, thank you. PAC committee, Deputy Mayor?
Okay, well, we haven't had a meeting, but the Stop Up Road closure in North Augusta, that was looked at our last PAC meeting, but it had to go through public notice, so that's why it's on the agenda now.
Next is the OPP, detachment board. We had a meeting last week, which we canceled, so. So again, we're gonna reschedule that meeting till we have more information, you know, behind the scenes.
Yeah, we're just, the clerk and I chatted about it this morning. We're just waiting for Graham Wright, who is our advisor, to get back to us on a date that works with him in May. Right now, we're tentatively looking at May 21st. So we'll see if he's available for that, and then we'll schedule a meeting going forward, so.
I have a question for the police service board, and that is, can you ask the commander why it takes 4 to 6 months to get a police check? My granddaughter needs one to get started her job, and she's been waiting a month now, and she looked on, and they said that she could try to call the OPP, and they said you can't call, you gotta do it online, and it says it takes 4 to 6 months.
I'll reach out to
Yeah.
detachment commander.
Yeah, just see why it takes that long.
Yep.
Secret security clearance faster.
It could, it said it could take 4 to 6 months, it didn't take, it's going to, but it could, yeah.
Okay, other questions? Now, we're talking about River Route Bus. Let's see, that'll be ready.
Yep, we're just waiting on a tentative meeting in May. So once I have that meeting, I'll certainly let council know.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next staff reports, administration and finance. And the first one we have is report 2025-045. And moved by Councillor Bowman, seconded by Councillor Henry. Be resolved that council approve the municipal donation policy as outlined in staff report 2025-045. Comments, questions? Okay, nothing. I'll ask the either the clerk or the CAO to see if they have any comments. No.
Only comment I will say is the clerk's department did a great job on putting an application and a process together, which I think will make it easier for organizations to apply, but also makes it transparent from a approval perspective, and what we require as part of it, giving funds to people. So I think they did an excellent job.
So, yes, and I think there was 2 dates. If I remember correctly. November was one for,
November 30th, I think.
yeah, so just to remind the counselors, there is a process. So when people ask you for money, you know, they've got to fill out the forms and everything else, and not just come for a delegation.
Just one question. So the ones that just, I guess, send in requests directly to staff or whatever, we reaching out to ones that we've got in the past and saying, hey, we've got a new process, so if you guys want money next year, because we know it's been a lot of, you know, a month before the event, you know, get the money. So, I mean, like I said, the stuff that comes through us, it's easy. We can just, oh, this is the process now. But just the other ones, I'll be letting them know as well, right?
Yeah, I think the plan will be is to probably get the application stuff online, but also as we get into September is putting maybe a couple articles or a couple ads in the papers and stuff like that, reminding people that the application process is open. And, you know, the due date is November 30th. It's not going to correct every organization because, as you know, there's some events that just kind of just happen throughout the year.
Yeah.
And those have to be dealt with on a case-by-case basis. But the ones that we know every year that come, like the South Grenville District High School for the event they have in November, all that kind of stuff, they can certainly, use that application and do that, so.
Okay, any questions? Okay, I'll follow the question. All in favor? Carried. Yep. Next, we have report 2025-046. And moved by Councillor Henry, seconded by Councillor Bowman. Be resolved that council approve the information security and privacy default policies as outlined in staff report 2025-046. And does anybody have any questions on this? Fairly straightforward. Keeping in line with the what we're actually supposed to be doing. Okay, call the question, all in favor? Carried. Give another good report. Next, we have report 2025-047, stop up and close a road allowance. Moved by Deputy Mayor Wyman, seconded by Councillor Pate. Be resolved that council declare the road allowance located on part of Marion Street, registered plan for Village of North Augusta, Township of Augusta, County of Granville, designated as Part 2 on reference plan 15R-7316, being part of a PIN 68173-003, brackets are as surplus in the needs of the township, and the council directs staff to proceed with the required posting and notice provisions as per bylaw 3214-2015, being a bylaw to regulate the sale of municipally owned real property. Any comments, questions? I see none, we each got a small little diagram there, but I think we all know where the area is, and it kind of makes sense, so. I'll call the question, all in favor? Carried. Next, we have operations and recreation. Moved by Councillor Pape, seconded by Deputy Mayor Wyans. Be resolved that council receive the Parks, Recreation and Facilities first quarter 2025 report. Does anybody have any comments, questions? Yeah. Yes. Oh, sorry, Councillor Henry.
Your worship, I just want to say it's nice to see that we're finally going to meet with Prescott and Evansburg Cardinal and build those relationships with recreation.
Councillor Bowman.
Good report, very thorough, and it's nice to know what's going on type thing in each department, right? Each committee.
Deputy Mayor, do you have a question?
No, I'm just glad that it's thank you.
Oh. I had one, I thought it was, still looking here, I thought it was under Donville, but that looks pretty shy, under Roebuck probably, yeah. Yes, the Roebuck lease. That's been hanging.
Yep. I've
So,
already, I expect it in this week for our next meeting for council.
don't care how busy he is,
No, I don't.
it's not that much reading.
No, exactly right.
Thank you. Yes, good report. Any questions? Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? Thank you. Next, we have report 2025-049. And we moved by Deputy Mayor Wyman, second by Councillor Pate. Be it resolved that council approve the playground equipment inspection policy as outlined in staff report 2025-049. Any comments, questions? I'm just looking to see if everybody's reading or if they have any questions. No, my own personal thing is this another example of when I was a kid, they had no such thing, you know, monkey bars were there and no one, you're lucky to get them painted by the city. So, but this happens with everything, so you just gotta fight it and admit it, so there's so much paperwork and liability and everything else, so anyway. Okay, call a question. You'll change the world. Carry. Next, we have bylaws. Moved by Councilor Page, second by Deputy Mayor Winans, be it resolved that bylaw number 3773-2025, being the bylaw to amend bylaw 3692-2024 and appoint an alternate emergency information officer for the corporation of Township of Augusta be read a first time, second time, and third time be enacted as read. Any questions, comments on that? Okay, do nothing, all question, all in favor? Carry. Be careful. Okay, so next we have, basically announcements. Does anybody have an announcement? Yes.
Two things, actually. So I think that you missed in your opening remarks is it's also the International Day of Mourning for workers that were, went to work and never came home or came home injured. So yeah, I think it's important to point that out. We were talking about women's before we started, so I think it's really important to keep in mind that, we do everything that we can here at the township to make sure that every employee that comes into work in the morning goes home in the afternoon. So today is the day to recognize those that did not. My other comment is, as everybody knows, I run the Augusta Township and Optimum Group, and we're in the middle of the end of a federal election today. I actually want to give a shout out and commendation to all of those members in the township for actually keeping it relatively civil for the last number of months. As we know, the elections have not become a very civil thing over the last few years, and apart from a few minor instances, for the most part, everybody behaved themselves and treated each other with respect. So I wanted to point that out because in the climate that we have right now, that's not something we see very often. So kudos to everybody for that.
Okay, anybody else? Yes,
Along with that day of mourning, it's in Brockville this Sunday at 1 o'clock at the museum. So there's a get together there.
Anybody else? Staff have anything? No? There's a meeting for Food for Teens. This will be the third meeting. It's at Prescott, this Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So, you're quite welcome to go. I've gone to the last two meetings. And, anyway, just, they have about 30 or 40 people that go. So it's interesting. Try and all put their heads together to see how we can help, feed our teens in the area. So
Where is it, Jeff? In Prescott?
Prescott,
Yeah.
Where in
I
Prescott?
don't know.
The town?
But this is to look at feeding them during the summertime when school is not on the go, because they have the food program in through the high school. So the summertime, there is nothing.
And also through the whole year.
Yeah.
Because they have the Outpost Cafe and places like that too. So. It's when they're not in school.
Yeah.
Which could be throughout the year, like even on weekends.
I guess there is one more thing that just thought of, Jeff.
Yeah.
We got an invite, last week for what do they call it? The Beacon Bags. They're having a breakfast sometime in May, here in Brockville at the New Hope Church, I believe. It's their first ever, they call it a corporate breakfast to raise money. I think registration's due by the end of next week. You have the details, Shannon, I believe, so I don't know if we want to send anybody, if you're interested in going, I guess let Shannon know and he can send you up.
Yeah, my personal opinion, that's a private thing.
Yeah.
Because if we start going to every organization, I may think an organization is great. The rest of these may not. So, you know, it's, I don't want to speak ill of the organization.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, just don't know if that benefits. It's something individually we have to do, I think. So. Okay, anything else?
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah,
It's not more of an announcement for you, but just more for staff. The auditors are here tomorrow, so they'll be here, reviewing our 2024's activities. So if you're out and about, they might pull you in and ask you a question or so, but just joking. But yeah, they'll be in here for the rest of this week and then possibly the last week in May. And then, so hopefully our target is to have financial statements to council in late June. Yeah, late June, will be our plan. So.
okay. Okay, carry on. Okay, so next we have questions on the agenda on items from the press. I don't believe there's any press.
No.
Next is questions on the agenda items from the public. Laura, do you have anything?
No.
Okay, thanks for coming. Next we have our closed session. Moved by Deputy Mayor Wynan, seconded by Councillor Fate, be resolved this council moved in this closed session at, let's say 6:45 PM to discuss matters pertaining to approval of the previous closed session minutes, March 10th, 2025. Matters under section 239 brackets 2 brackets B, personal matters by an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, specifically staffing and board members. Call question, all in favor? Carry. Thank you. You ready? No?
Yeah, we're good.
Moved by Councillor Page, second by Deputy Mayor Wines, be resolved that council met a closed session to discuss personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees. Council took no action beyond receiving information from staff. Call the question, all in favor? Okay. Yes. Moved by Deputy Mayor Wines, second by Councillor Pate, be resolved that council be resolved, but bylaw number 3774-2025 confirm the proceedings of council of the Township of Augusta and its meeting held on April 28, 2025, be read a first time, second time, third time, and be enacted as read. All in favor? Carried. Yep. Last one. Moved by Councillor Page, second by Deputy Mayor Wines, be resolved this council meeting do now adjourn at 7:18 p.m. until May 12th, 2025 at 6 p.m. or to call the mayor subject to need. Call the question, all in favor? Here. That folks.